Hey everybody, welcome back to Cars and Guitars. I got the cab corner trimmed up and in place there. So as you can see there, I'm going to do a tack weld right on the corner here. And then you can see the gap. It gets a bit wider on the bottom. That's what I was saying. And it curves in a bit at the bottom. So once it's tack welded up there, I got a nice gap. That's where it has to be. I got it vice gripped at the bottom right now. But I'll do a plug weld in the bottom, and then I'm going to pull on this panel and twist it up, and that'll tighten up the gap so we can get a nice even gap all the way. And then I left it here. I didn't do a butt weld right through here. So once I got my corner tacked and it's pulled over, tacked on the bottom, I got a nice gap there. I'll take my cut-off saw and I'll cut right along the line, and I'll do a bunch of tacks along there, and I'll wrap it right around the back and cut right through. I got it cut to do a butt weld at the bottom here, at the back, and I'll cut the rest so I can take that piece out from the inside that's left over, and then I got a nice gap all the way around, and it looks nice in the front here. And then I can do, like I said, my plug welds in the back. You'll have to trim that piece too because it's too wide. It overlaps the back panel. So you have to trim that too. And I'll take this off here, show you too, before you do start welding, when you trim out, you're gonna have to clean the back of this panel. Well, depending on the truck, there's a lot of goop in here. That's what I took out of there. Now that's factory sealant in there, sound deadener, and it's all sticky right now because the truck's been oil sprayed since new every year. So that's why it's all like snot right now actually. And behind the panel, you can see this was the piece that was in there. It's full of oil and undercoating. So what'll happen if you don't get that out cleaned up in the back here, when you start doing your tack welds, you're going to get a lot of pinholes in your welds because of the contaminants. That, and you could start a fire. That'll light on fire and you can burn the truck to the ground. So that's why you got to take your inner panel apart here, and you can get in there and blow with your air blower to make sure there's no fire or anything. But you want to get that stuff out of there. I use paint thinner on a rag and I clean up all around where I'm going to do my welds, so you don't get all those pinholes in the welds and get a nice clean weld. So I just wanted to show you the process here of how I put on those cab corners. And you can see too, I told you I chopped the aftermarket one right up here, and I had to drop it down to get it to line up at the bottom. The other one was worse. The other one I dropped it down about 1.5 inches to make it fit at the bottom even, so I could do a nice plug weld at the bottom there. So like I said, aftermarket parts are all different. So I'll start welding that in. Hopefully no one will bother me. It's 6 o'clock here Sunday morning on Father's Day. So I'll get away with it being Father's Day, hopefully. And I put a patch in here. I cut this out, put a piece in there. They always rot because the water always comes down and lays in there. And then I put a piece in here on the rocker. I cut it out to get that piece in there. Plus there were some holes through the top of the rocker there. But the rest of the rocker was good because it was undercoated, like I said, every year since it was bought new. So it's not even swollen at the bottom or nothing. It's really solid. Just up there where the rubber gasket sits along here, the water and stuff sits in there, and then it starts rusting. Water and mud and stuff stays wet. And the floor was good on this side. There's some pits in there from there was surface rust on there, but I took the metal conditioner, the 5717S, and got it all cleaned up. And then Nathan, the owner of the truck, put some of that Dome 16 in there. It gets hard as a rock there, that stuff. So I'll put a second coat on there once I'm done the cab corners. Actually, we even put a coat inside the cab corners on both sides, and you can see we painted in there with it to seal it up. He's going to undercoat the truck later on after it's done anyway, because it's going to be a plow truck. But just around the yard here, well, so he says, might change that when by the time it's done. You never know. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching Cars and Guitars. I'm John Bluen.